you with Tony Fontenelle after Bedford Town 3, Luton Town 11 nil. Tony, firstly, a little while since we catched up from that first time that you came in. How are you finding it? How's it gone? How's pre-season going?
It's gone really quick. Um, it's amazing how quickly I felt at home, but I think that's because of how everyone's treated me, welcomed me. I knew some people behind the scenes at the club, and it's nice just to be amongst familiar local faces. So, yeah, I kind of feel at home already, which I didn't know is a good thing or an indifferent thing or not. So, yeah, I've been pleased with how I've been treated and come here. And also with working with Harry, I'm not just saying it. It's I'm pleased that our sort of thought processes, values, principles, call it what you will, quite aligned. Even though we may have difference of opinions, but we've already got that understanding. I've all said to him that I'll give my two pennies worth, but the final decision is his, and I will support him with that. But a lot of the conversations that we've had, we're on a similar sort of mindset already. So the discussions that we've had, what we feel that we've seen from the team so far. Yeah, it's been aligned. So in a long-winded way of answering, yeah, it's been good.
As a huge motorbike goes past me for everyone there. As a player and as a manager, or sorry, assistant manager, you've got a hell of a lot of step two experience underneath your belt. You know what this level is evolving to and where it's come from. How do you feel we are setting up and shaping up in terms of your history at this level?
It's always difficult because I think anyone involved in football will say you have pre-seasons where you win every game and then it goes into the start of the season and you don't start so well, and then the other dynamic is you lose every pre-season game and you start the season fantastic. So I think how we're shaping up the positives is the amount of clean sheets we've had against some tough opposition. In my opinion, again we've had another clean sheet tonight. The sort of areas for development, learning for us is obviously when we got into the competitive game without harping on about it from Friday. But I think on reflection, it's better that we have the indifferent moments now where we can learn as opposed to 3 points being at stake. Let's make no bones about it. We weren't great in the first half today. And we had some choice words with the lads at half time, but saw a reaction. And that's what we want. That's what we want to see from the lads. They need to have an understanding quickly around what Bedford Town is about, what the fans expect to see, what the management team expect to see. And that should hopefully bode us well for the season. But in terms of how we're shaping up, we're learning as a group. I think we have to remember that we're a new management team. I think what are we week 4, 5 into hopefully quite a long working relationship. And off the top of my head, I think we're well into the late teams in terms of new signings. So it will take time for that to all gel together and get our ideas and principles across in what we want to do. And equally, there's a lot of information for the lads to take on, new environment. But we will get there. We'll get there. I'm quietly confident around you learn more when things don't go well as opposed to when things go well. And Harry and myself, we were saying earlier in pre-season, that sounds weird, but we wanted to concede a goal just to see how the lads cope and react to going a goal down. Unfortunately, again, it is a game that happened and you don't want it to happen to. But look, in the next game, they've put that right and you're only as good as your last game. So, yeah, going well.
What's the dressing room like?
Early days yet. I think they need a little. I think they've got a team bonding night due soon, and I think that'll help them learn about each other's characters and that. But personally, from lads that I've worked with in the past and working with currently, they're a real good group. They're open to learning. They're receptive. They take on information. They like doing their extras. You know, they're a real keen bunch that want to do well. And I think that's a brilliant start for us. You'd rather try and tone it down with the lads as opposed to try and G people up. And that's where we're at. We're trying to rein them in a little bit because they're all so eager and want to work well, work hard and do well for Bedford.
A lot mentioned about Harry being one of the youngest managers in English football. How are you seeing him and his stride into the role? Is he really taking the ball by the horns and moving well with his experience as well?
Well, I can only answer it one way because if I don't, he'll sack me. Nah. I have to say, I've been pleasantly surprised, and I've got no shame in saying that on camera, and I don't have to say that. He's very, very articulate in what he does. He's got his methods, how he gets his information across. And sometimes if you forget his age because of how knowledgeable he is and how he comes across and how he as I say, without repeating himself, delivering his messaging. We've had conversations outside, and I've said maybe think about X, Y, and Z, but equally, he's been absolutely spot on. The way he's gone about his negotiations, how he's gone about his business in getting players to come and sign for us in the first place, because some players may be a little bit dubious about coming into this environment with, say, the new manager. But once they have that conversation with Harry and you hear him speak, you're like, yeah, right, he's the right guy to come and lead. And I think the beauty with us is Harry's like excellent at coaching, leading the group, and me as the sort of more experienced, as much as it pains me to say, I'll probably look at the more sort of having that sort of the psychology of the game. So we've got a good sort of working relationship and good balance between us, and we've both got different strengths, and we're working towards those strengths. So that's why, going back to the question you first asked me, why I felt comfortable is because I'm doing things that I know, without sounding big-headed, I'm good at, and just trying to support Harry along the way. Not that he needs too much of it. He's yeah, can't sing enough praises. But having said that, we know it's a results business, so it's all well and good saying that, but we know what the ultimate goal is and what we want to achieve this season.
Just finally, Yella, we obviously go to Oxford next week to start 10 days' time to start the league season back here against Darlington and Buxton for back-to-back. The supporters club running discounted travel to make sure that people can get there. It's just a tenner to get on that bus to Oxford for the first game of the season. How important is it that the fans are behind us for those first few games, behind the new Eagles, the new management, new players, and that we get off to a good start on and off the field?
It's everything. I think it's well documented. I had a fantastic relationship with the fans at my previous club, and something that I want to build on here. The the fans are probably the most important, and without sounding too cringy, but they're the most important fabric of a football club because they are the football club. We're just mere custodians that have got the privilege in our respective roles to represent them. So we need them in numbers to show their support, come and back us, and just give the lads that extra 5%, whatever it is, and we'll try and repay that by getting victories, getting draws, and giving them a football team that they're proud to support and say is one of theirs. So yeah, if they can come over in their droves and make some noise.
Top man, Yella. Top.